In today's video, we're going to talk briefly about the 12th house. That is going to be useful for those of you who are both new to astrology and those who are a bit more advanced, because I think that my take on it right now can teach you something even if you have been studying for years, as it comes from personal experience. My chart ruler is in the 12th house, and as I get older, I get more understanding of how the energy works, and I would like to share it with you. I'm an astrologer, a psychic and Reiki healer, and I would like to be able to give you guidance so you can have a better understanding of your life, of this incarnation, and find more ease in your challenges that you're going to encounter on this life path. So, the 12th house contains within itself a contradiction. On one hand, it really tests your patience. On the other hand, it's the house that has the sole power to make all your wildest dreams come true. Why? Because traditionally, the 12th house, coming from Indian teachings, is produced from by Saturn. And Saturn, although it's a planet of endurance and delays, is also a planet of granting you fair wish fulfillment. So it doesn't matter what planet you have there. If Saturn, then you're lucky, but if something else, you still have the karma that you have to need to deal with. In this area, there is a big possibility that there is some very heartfelt wish from a past life, or even from your family line, and that is especially if you have 4th house planets too, because these are very ancestral. The 4th house in Cancer, they are about ancestral karma. There may be some wish in the family line that has never come true for anyone in this family, and the 12th house ensures that you will be the first one in your family line to receive that wish for yourself. But it's not going to happen maybe as fast as you would like it to. It's going to take time, and it's going to happen gradually, because Saturn rules gradual unlocking and slow building over time. So you may feel like you're starting from 0 or even minus 100 in that area of the planet that's in the 12th house for you. But you're going to experience complete fortune reversal, and that can especially start after your Saturn return when it comes to the matters of the planet of this house. The other planet that does well in the 12th house is Venus, and the reason for that is that Venus rules accumulating things of value over time after overcoming a lot of suffering. I know people have this kind of romantic, idealized version of Venus, but Venus actually is a very fiery planet. Venus is a planet of fighting for what we love, what we believe in, until our very last breath. Think of cliches like Romeo and Juliet, right? They literally died for what they loved. Venus has this ferocity in it, and that's why it has the tenacity to achieve what it wants in the 12th house, because it will have the patience as long as it thinks the objective it has is going to be of worth. But frankly, these are just the two easiest placements, Saturn and Venus, but any planet you have there is going to still produce the results I'm talking about. The reason that is happening is that, like I said, the 12th house has the Saturnian quality. So it makes you feel at the beginning like you can't have what you want, just to put you ultimately in a place where you feel like all along the efforts that you were trying to put into that thing on your heart made sense, and you just had to wait for the right time. Saturn in the 12th house is all about timing, which quite frankly is not really up to you. You have to do the work as in make the right spiritual effort that translates to practical action, which is about doing the right thing at the right time. But the rest is up to the divine, the source, the universe, God, however you want to call it. See, Saturn, against popular thought, doesn't rule powering through and working intensely. There is more so the area of the North Node as such a productive, obsessive planet. Saturn rules working smart in small increments, which ultimately leads to long-term results. And that's why the 12th house has this quality. The 12th house has this quality of really pouring your heart into a project, a situation, a person, or whatever there is in your chart, and then reaping the rewards possibly till the end of your life, but have it build up gradually over the years. So you are going to experience a lot of doubt, insecurity, fear, maybe even heartbreak and feelings of doom relative to your 12th house placements, because you may feel like you're doing everything well, and you're looking at this thing, asking yourself, where is it? And the ache for that can be so particularly bad because that ache, that lack, goes down to your ancestral line, right? So it's possible that you have felt a lack in this area on the soul level for centuries or even millennia. But then you can see a small crack in the door, and you can see the light coming through, and you know that it's possible for you to make progress. And that's when you stay committed to the dream on your heart in that area, and that's what keeps you coming back to it. But frankly, here the involvement spiritually is so strong that you just can't walk away from it. Even if you take breaks, even if you don't do it 24/7, this is the area of your life that you're just going to end up coming back to. It's going to haunt you, quite literally. Persistence is the Saturnian theme. Efficiency, effort, and persistence is the theme of the 12th house. Remember that you can't bypass the 12th house energy there, because if there is something that really is the epitome of what you want down to the soul level, you can't give up on it, because you can never really truly give up on your heart. That's why people also associate 12th house with addictions, because that's what happens when people try to mask their desires, their goals, and their suffering, when they try to forget what they're going through because it's too painful. They go into escapism and addictions because they cannot take the pressure. But also partially, I think, if you do it more healthily, it's because simply Saturn has an element of a low effort mentality to it, so it may be something you do just to pass the time. Because subconsciously, here in the 12th house, you know that it's not going to happen overnight anyway, so why sweat it? On the negative spectrum, it leads to things like wastefulness, which is done by the mind as an attempt to escape from the crippling pressure of delayed desired gratification that you experience in that area. So even if you do have a malefic planet there, I recommend that you get square with yourself and that you realize that what you want to achieve there is possible. Telling yourself things like, oh, I'm not gonna get that anyway, it's a cop-out, something you tell yourself not to get your hopes up. It is possible, but also it is inevitable that it's going to take time, and there is nothing you can really do to speed it up. Make sure that you realize your 12th house planet well, make sure you do the 12th house well, and that's going to refine the kind of results you're going to reap from it over time. See, something about us human beings that this house teaches us is that when we get something easy, when we get easy gratification, we often toss it out. We don't appreciate it. We don't find fulfillment in things that are too easily obtained. As human beings, we're fickle like that. And that's why there's so much satisfaction in 12th house, because you feel like through the process of delayed gratification, you got what you really wanted. And also the things that are really worth a lot take time to build. They don't happen overnight. Compare it to building a home. It's different to purchase a piece of real estate that's all glossy, newly constructed, but you didn't really put your heart into it. It's just something that the builder invented, and building your own home from scratch the way you wanted to, the way you designed it, and putting all the sweat and the heart into actually creating that home space for yourself. Ask yourself which one of the two is going to be more satisfying for you, and which one would you like to pass down to your potential children, grandchildren, or anyone that you use as a benefactor, because Saturn also rules legacy. So it's not only the fulfillment of your own personal happiness, but the legacy you're going to pass on that you can be proud of. Be proud of your 12th house and make yourself the person that can be proud of themselves together with your 12th house planets instead of running from them.